Rachele here with Amethyst Ascension. If you are new here, welcome. And if you are returning, thank you so much for joining me again. So what you are looking at is my prosperity altar. Today what we're doing is a video on sacred spaces. And this is with the Witchy Wisdom Wednesdays, which is a collaboration between, right now, 7 different channels. Those channels are Jessica from Pagan Pathways, Summer from AstariaSen, Jasmine from Earth Spiderweaver, myself, of course, Amethyst Ascension, and we also have Dawn from Aurora Dawn. We have Courtney from Eries Witchcraft, and we also have Cindy from ThatTarotLady. So I'm going to show you up close all of my different spaces. Okay, so first we are starting off with my prosperity altar, and I'll just do a brief walkthrough. Let me get a little bit closer. All right, so first off, we have some Irish moss, some candle, prosperity token that was gifted by the beautiful Drew at She Who Walks Between the Worlds, and that is from the Witch's Roots, which is bay leaf, which I do bay leaf offerings all the time in my little cauldron over here. I'm trying to move slowly because I don't want to make anybody feel a little bit sick. So this is emerald, I believe. Is that emerald? Yes. And then some money draw. I have a little spell box back there with a candle also, green prosperity candle. And then I've got my 2 prosperity candles, as well as the gold, which just like takes it to the new, the next step. I have my money tree, which is doing really, really well. And of course, I have aloe. And over in this corner, I also have another Irish moss. And I have a jade elephant with the trunk up for good luck, as well as some more fire magic. And then I have a bird to signify kind of like air. I've got a fountain for like water. Obviously, you see I've got tons of fire already being represented, and with the greenery and the crystals, which you will see like down here, I am representing the earth. So I'm representing all elements as well. And then I have one for air. Of course, 2 elephants with their trunks up. This one is signifying fire. Fire. Those are the coordinates of my home, which I'm not going to show all of it, but there is for earth. That is a cup runneth over. There's lots of crystals and shamrocks in there, and another one for the water element. And then there's a picture of my husband and I. And all of this is signifying prosperity. For my prosperity altar. Now, I did have basil, and I did have mint also up here, but they were not doing so well because of all of the cloud cover that we've had and rain. So I moved those downstairs, and I just actually transplanted them out today. We've had some nice weather, so I got them outside. So stay tuned, and I will be sharing some of my other sacred spaces. another one of my places that I really do think is sacred to me is my land. I mean, I know it's not as much as a lot of people have, but for me, it's perfect. I mean, our front yard is probably bigger than our backyard with the sides and stuff. I'll show you a little bit over here. We don't live out in the country or anything like that. Although, I mean, we are surrounded by trees, which I love. Yeah, you can see everybody's backyards and stuff. But, and I mean, listen to all the birds. I am just, we come out here often, especially because before we moved here, we lived in a mobile home, in a mobile home community. We had practically no yard. We lived there for, oh gosh, 5 years maybe. And before that, we lived in another place that we rented because we had lost our other home years and years ago. And we never bought again after that. Just because, you know, life happens. And that was a really hard loss for us. Because it was like our dream home, you know. But, I mean, I love this home even more. It's just funny how life happens. But I absolutely, yeah, and our pools, it's still greenish because we're still regulating it. We just opened it a few days ago. So there's no swimming in it yet. Although it's been almost 90 degrees here, we could definitely use a good swim. But, you know, to me, sacred places are places where you can feel comfortable and express yourself and do your workings and, you know, feel like it's your own little sanctuary, right? And so I wanted to include my backyard and, you know, even my deck. I know it's not beautiful or anything like that, and, you know, we're hopefully going to be painting all this. We redid a lot of the wood. My husband did it. We didn't pay anybody, so you'll see like different shades of wood and stuff because we're working on it, right? It's a work in progress. But we come out here in the mornings, we'll drink coffee, well, if the weather's permitting. You know, we'll watch the sun come up because that's the east, so the sun comes up, you know, right here in our backyard, and it's just the most wonderful thing. We have squirrels that come and eat. You can see the squirrel corn there. It's funny watching how they hang to eat their food, or how they actually still get them out of those locked cages. It's surprising. It's funny. We've got birds, all kinds of birds that are always back here. You can always hear the birds. All the people that are around us take care of their yards so beautifully. You can hear kids playing, and then you can see people gardening. I mean, it's just a beautiful thing. So, yeah, this is one of my clips of one of my sacred places that I wanted to share with you. So another sacred space for me, and this is probably going to be a little corny, but this is my dining room. You know, this is where I gather with my family when we have meals together and chat and talk about our days and where we bond. And, you know, when my family gets together and we have Thanksgiving, you know, where my mom and my sister and all their families come here and we gather. So, you know, we have deep conversations at this table. We'll play games at this table, and we'll sit down and eat meals at this table. So this is another sacred spot. And another sacred space for me is, you know, in our living room, where gather with family, play video games on our big TV, you know, have a good fire going. This is where we celebrate, and we put our Christmas tree at Christmas. you know, watch a comedy together. Sometimes we'll set up our trays and eat our dinners here and watch something. Or, I mean, you're probably asking, why is she showing us her house? But to me, that is a sacred place. It is our sanctuary, you know? So it's that place that we can go that is away from the rest of the world. A place where we can make memories and, you know, take pride in what we have and make them environments that we want to be in. That is what a sacred space is to me. This is where the real magic happens. And then this is my my witchy room, which has stuff all over the place. I was going to clean it, make it look presentable, but this is really what it usually always looks like. There's stuff all over the place. So we have a treadmill, right? When not in use, we put Sully's bed up there. My daughter just used it, so she hasn't put the dog bed back, just because there's not a whole lot of space, you know? This is my altar, which has all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's jam-packed. Then I have my printer, because I have a business. I have to print off invoices. I have my herbs. I have a huge collection of herbs that are being shipped. I've been waiting on for over a month, you know, because of everything being shut down. So I've got those coming that are going to be filled, and I have to finish up my labels. This is behind my desk area. You know, it's cluttered and awesome, and I love it, and it's got all my stuff. And then I've got, yeah, that's full of stuff. Ugh. My sewing machine is still up because I was making masks and what have you, so that's like in the way. But this is how it is. This is what my space looks like. And then I've got my moon altar. But because I couldn't get to it, oh, and that's what Jessica made for me. I love it. This is another altar. I do have all of my signs up now. Yeah, we still even need to paint the walls, okay? That's just the honest truth. Okay, I've even got my witchy hat over there. Got all my Reiki signs. And I've got this that my husband got me for our anniversary last year. We were set up on a blind date. It was that date. Yeah. So he had that made. Those were the stars on that day. I thought that was so romantic. Yep. My shipping boxes, everything is like in disarray. Yeah, I mean, storage for other things that I've made, you know, that's my space. And because of having my moon altar, yeah, even where I hold cameras and stuff. So I had a little moon altar right there for the new moon. So yeah, you guys got a tour of my space and why I, you know, absolutely, sorry, I'm trying not to move too fast. Why I absolutely wanted to show you some of the places. But my home, you know, my spaces, this is where all real magic happens. Out in your backyards, wherever it is that you congregate with people and or yourself. It's all magical. It's all perception. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and I hope you watch the other ladies with their Sacred Spaces videos, and I am sending you love and light.